We're seeing the deaths of over 250,000 children each year. These children are innocent victims. This is a confrontation between a modern motorised transport system and poverty. And I'm afraid it's the transport system that's winning out. It's deepening poverty. And the victims who are right in the front line overwhelmingly are poor, they're vulnerable, they're children, and they have no responsibility for the crisis that they're bearing the brunt of.
We're living in an age of huge investment in road infrastructure, particularly in the emerging markets of China, India and Brazil, and huge extra quantities of kilometres, miles of roads. But the problem is that very often these road projects, one of the key performance indicators of that road project is to raise the prevailing speed. It's taking a road up to a level of speed that will guarantee death if there's an incident with pedestrians trying to cross the road. And very often these roads, they're faster, but they haven't thought through at all how human beings, especially young children, will cross that road.
As poor communities face the threat of even greater and greater congestion, being forced right to the sides of roads where huts are sometimes put up with squatters, children dashing through traffic to get to school, when there's so much death, when there's so much injury, when there's so much burden on poor communities. Any major strategy that saves children's lives, helps communities to get out of poverty, is part of the Millennium Development Goals. The Millennium Development Goals are a broad framework. Road safety has to be part of that.
And whoever is designing these roads, they actually need to put in place the practical measures that will make a difference on the front line. They need to take the fear out of the school run.
Please don't forget the most vulnerable road user. Think about the children. When they go to school, we can have very cost-effective intervention. So UNICEF, we have started to strongly advocate for the government because we need to protect the most vulnerable.
Road crashes account for the biggest single killer of young people in the world today. There is an international convention on the rights of the child, and it seems to us that that has got to incorporate the safety of young people on the roads of the world today. And I think that ministers would be more accountable if that was clearly defined as being one of the responsibilities.
One of the things that really strikes you when you talk to the children in these slums, they have this real drive to get an education. And that's for a very simple reason, which is that they see learning and school as an exit route from the poverty that they live in. They know that if only they can get into school, through school, pass their exams, they'll have a chance of a future that was denied their parents.
Many of these kids, those who are looking for education, many of them are being hurt, they're being injured in the process when they're coming to school, and many of them have encountered road accidents. Even some of them have died. In the process, we have lost quite a number. Some of the parents are asking if they could just take their kids away from the school because of the road accident.
Well, at Save the Children, we have thousands and thousands of children's groups, and they are groups that sit down and they talk about the challenges that they face in their community. And they often raise this issue about how unsafe it is to walk along the road to school or to go and collect water. And this is an issue that they want to address. So we've got to make the route to school safe.
While in fact the interventions to protect them are very cost effective, some of them have been ranked among the best buys in public health. Just having safe, elevated pedestrian crossings. Sidewalks are just separation for pedestrians from the rest of traffic. These are relatively easy things to do. And one way to draw attention to the needs of pedestrians will be the long short walk.
It is to give a voice to the pedestrians. And there are so many pedestrians on our roads who are never heard. The children who are trying to get to school, it is for the pedestrians of the world to raise the awareness that they have just as much rights as anybody who is using the roads. This campaign also reaches out to communities, to individuals who bring to the table what does this walk means to them, to make a stand for the pedestrians of the world.
Road crashes are the #1 killer of children over 10 all over the world. This is a serious call to action that we save young lives.